Okay, let's get back to the undermining part. I will say, I won't say this is part two because I'll say in part two is who's handling this. I was asked not to handle anything, but it just comes down to it. I'm better at getting information from people in a short period of time than the current person, or he just doesn't want to go into an outright gunfight. So, in the Scranton area, as far as what's going on, is what's going on. They brought some people in on my behalf and brought some people in for someone else in Scranton area's behalf. As far as Lawrence, knock your crap off. You can't stop the information from going where it needs to go in a mental sense. Now, when I talk about Harry Potter, just to say about Harry Potter, get away from what's going on and the other side of things, is that there is certain things that are happening locally that would affect Scranton area, so they'll just have to defend themselves because of a few past events. On other case files, you'd have to go to Williamsport Police Department. And yeah, I said I was going to talk about Harry Potter, but for a second, I need to talk about this. A bunch of people actually getting shot, killed in their own home, break-in, etc., etc. You're talking about 1980 to 1990. Being a little bit more specific, you're talking 85, give or take the case. A little bit easier to use a computer archive, preferably through someone you trust on a normal database. Easy way to do it is go down to the judicial system archive in Philadelphia and go through their database, take the guy with you that was sent down. And whatnot. As far as Harry Potter, that's no joke. But the problem that bothers me about Harry Potter series is what I heard, which was something that vacated any and all presence of the undercover at the time. He was asked to back off unless he had a military with him, because they were going after the fact of Harry Potter. Harry Potter in the real sense of Harry Potter, not the kid you see and whatnot, had no actual practical sense of magic. He used illusion, which is different than mental. Mental's one thing, but illusion is totally different. It can be something you see in front of you. It's often what causes people to stab people for no apparent reason. It's not insanity. It's not a disability. It's not a depressional problem. It's actually, these people tend to do stupid things, such as, let's say, MGM or Sony movies, videos, BBM, etc., etc. With all these different companies, they tend to want you to practice a little bit of something that's not actually kosher. When I say kosher, it'd be best just to not go do movies, whether it be in your local church or whether it be in whatever building that you worship in, because all these things lead right into these things. Now, Sony has backed off because they were asked to back off, whether it be military actions against Sony, China, Japan, and yeah, China and Japan, who are the two leading contenders of lying their ends off about Christianity. As far as Christianity, let me give you a real quick brief notice about what Christianity is. Christianity has nothing to do with religion, has nothing to do with a cult or any type of belief or faith. BBL is not Christianity. It is a set of records that were recorded, period. End of story. So if you think this is a religious space and whatnot, if you and your past generation were in movies or videos, I'd implore you to put the book down and whatnot. You don't believe me, burn it. Take it out to your little campfire, light a nice campfire, burn the BBL. you'll find out something real quick. But I would not sit down. I would not go to your vehicle right away. Now, if you really want to get a really dumb idea of how the BBL can affect you, is you take a nice stick, go down the Lowe's, buy a nice doll, D-O-W-L, doll stick. Something nice and thick, roughly about a ½ inch around. While that BBL is burning in there, just stick it in there and you'll see something you've never seen before. And I'm not, okay, when I did it, I had a real plain carved stick. I mean, it didn't have any real etches to it, didn't have any carvings. When I pulled the stick out, it had a full end set of carvings in it. And that's no joke. The other thing of it was when I came up out where I burned it from, I had a truck sitting there, totally illuminated. You'd almost say the Illuminati followed me in. Don't confer Illuminati for that of certain other things. Illuminati do not glow. People who write books or falsifications or change literature, if you ever read the plagiarism law, the plagiarism and copyright law, you'll realize a few things. And go to the active plagiarism law and the active copyright law. It'll say active, it'll say parentheses, before and backwards, and then it'll say active. Oh no, sorry, I just said active. It'll say copyright. Try reading that one sometime. If you can't get your hands on it, go to any, just make a phone call, buy a little cheap card, ask for the European version. Now let me tell you this, if this country was settled in 1638 and you had another country that had over 16,038 or 16,068 years over this country, the last thing I would be doing is going to this country for any type of information, especially back in 1980, where the country just totally dumped out on itself. And when I say dumped out on itself, I mean it closed the hell down. Europe totally left. The French totally left Canada. The Dutch left. Of course, the Dutch, I think, died off in 1738. But if there's any Dutch, it's just Switzerland, because they were killing off the Swiss. From 1738 to present, they were pretty much looking for Dutch people. This funny part of it is you want to find a Dutch person, it's pretty simple. Some are dark-haired, some are blonde. Some have red hair. So if you're looking to marry, you're probably your best friend and yourself might have a little Dutch in you, which has no bearing on anything of a cult or religion. But anyway, let's get back to Harry Potter. And like I said, I'm just going to keep telling you that he was a mass murderer who used illusion. He was also considered, quote-unquote, a magician by other people's standards of not knowing what the hell he was. But an illusionist is a bit different. Illusionists often have to rely on one thing, their mind, M-I-N-D plus thoughts. But the thoughts is the last thing they want to use. They might say memory. Memory is a little bit different. It's not in the person, it's in the computer, so therefore they might talk to the computer. Or they might talk to a book. They might talk to a pamphlet. They might even go to the point of, not magic, because that is a lamer way of doing something that's well seen. To use enticement, to use enchantment with enticement, to use your feelings, but they have to provoke it with theirs. It's often how you get things mixed up. I think the worst illusionist I ever seen out there was the one that was never caught. And that one was done by blood, using that of a different type, which I'm still not sure which one he used. But it was something that you could walk into a building and totally think that it was, well, let's just put it this way. You could have thought that black guy that walked by you just a minute ago was there. As far as that investigation, it was kept from me and whatnot. Even though I try to get information on it, it is actually a really what they refer to as spook. Not a ghost, a spook investigation. And the reason why it's a spook is because they never caught the guy. They did allow me to sit down and read the information that the cop wrote, and I asked the government, and the fact of it being European, are you trying to cover something up here? And which the answer was no. But it's always interesting. When government starts using influence and influencing people, that can be a huge problem. When people start listening to other people's thoughts too much, you can't say discrimination, you can't call the cops. You're violating the person. It's assault. A little bit different. Assault and battery is often not once called assault and battery, it's called a mentally invoking a person. Often you'll see this actually in the books. It was never actually in the books. The witchcraft books. The other thing of it is Wicca. That's another one that was new to 1980 to 1990. Anyone have wicker? Wicker baskets? Yeah. Wicker's a bit different type of wood. But the biggest thing I think I have a problem with is people that like to bury people under trees. Because when you do that, the wood is no longer usable. And technically, in some senses, what they like to refer to as the craft, because that's what this is sounding like right now, as far as a lot of other things, which is not magic, like I said, that's lamer. It's not sorcery. That's even lamer. When you start saying craft, you're saying that you are good at multiple things. So you might be good at influence, you might be good at illusion, being an illusionist, you might be good at witchcraft, you might be good at Wicca. All these are punishable by law. All of them. Inside this country. These are not forms of belief. And like I said, the one reason why when I say the person undermining me, don't undermine me. Because when you think it's so funny, it's when bad things happen. I say bad things. I said bad things when I was younger, trust me. Some of the people I work with know I've said this to them when I was younger, under the age of 13. Came inside of the place I was at. No amount of witchcraft, no amount of craft, or any of that's going to solve those. None. As when it is often said that the truth will set you free, it means if you know what happened to a person, you tell them. Otherwise, you can't take them to the hospital and run them up on the 7th floor to Divine, say you're mentally fucked up. No. You're mentally fucked up because you know the truth. End of story. Good day.